it's a living thing, right?
Andy, is he crazy?
No, I feel the same way.
Yeah, see,
He's
that's the
on
thing.
something?
No, it's not. It's passion. It's passion because
I feel the same way.
that's the thing. Is it's passion. Is I will, when I'm cutting, I'll talk to my microgreens and
Yes.
seriously, I mean, not crazy, but it's just
No. I know.
it's just kind of that passion where you feel like, okay, I'm gonna, because it's a living organism, right?
Yeah.
And living organisms need stimulation.
Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the Austin All Day Culinary Tales podcast. I am Jason Powers and joining us here is Chef Tim from Chef's Gone Green and Andy Hodges from Country Boy Farms. These two are here to discuss microgreens and growing hydroponic lettuce. Thank you Ranch Rider Spirits for sponsoring this podcast. Offering premium spirits and a transparent clean label, the Southwestern flavors include the Chilton, Ranch Water, and Tequila Paloma. If you're not already, follow our podcast on Instagram, sit back, grab a drink, and check it out. So, Chef Tim, Chef's Gone,
Yes, sir.
Chef's Gone Green,
Chef's Gone Green, and
and Andy Hodge,
That's correct.
Country Boy Farms. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go
oh
ahead.
no! I was just saying, this is my second time back.
Yes, it is. Yes, you came on Chef Tim representing Westminster.
Westminster, yeah.
Yes.
So now I'm starting a small microgreen business.
Now we dabbled in this a little, right?
Yes.
On that podcast, or did we?
No,
not?
we were talking about groovy melons.
Okay.
Remember that?
Okay, that's true.
Yes.
Okay, so but we've been talking about this.
Yes,
So
which-
Chef's Gone Green.
Yes.
Why don't we could just go right into it a little?
Okay, so Chef's Gone Green is I grow microgreens, and I kind of dabble in a little bit of edible flowers and just mainly microgreens and edible flowers. And I'm just trying to build my business, and I'm looking just to I start small and I grow to order. So I don't deliver until I cut the day of deliveries.
Sure.
So I would personally deliver.
Super fresh. That's very nice.
Excuse me. Yeah.
A smaller audience here of.
Yes.
Is that what
Yes.
we call it? Audience clientele, right?
Yes. That's my goal is to land a couple good, quality accounts that I can make sure that they're getting the freshest microgreens because
Sure.
I bought microgreens a lot.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what kind of spurred me a little bit about it is that I wasn't happy with what I was getting.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, why don't I just, I've always loved hydroponics and stuff like that, but I never really thought about doing it as a business until I just kind of realized that, after the last microgreens I got and I got to the bottom of the clamshell and it was full of dirt, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, come on now.
I think most folks who've experimented with microgreens have experienced that.
Yeah.
And let's get to Andy, Country Boy Farms. What's going on with this?
Okay, like Country Boy Farms is actually a full commercial size hydroponic greenhouse in East Texas,
East Texas, okay.
right? And we grow primarily any kind of lettuce product. Currently, our main seller is like the butterbib lettuce, and we dabble on a couple other different varieties, but that's our main seller. And we sell to a couple of distributors that can distribute between the Houston and Austin area.
Okay, so their products in Austin.
Yes.
Very cool. And interesting, you guys crossed paths this is the first time you've met.
Well, we talked on the phone.
You have
but
you have spoken on the
physically
phone.
actually meeting each other, yeah. Besides his website and things like that, this is the first time we actually met. But see, I feel like I've known this guy for years.
Yeah,
Right.
that's also good. Well, we all follow each other on Instagram, but you have a Chef's Gone Green sticker on the back.
Yes,
of your
I
car.
have a big Chef's Gone Green sticker. So if
And
anybody
Andy
sees
sees
it,
it.
call the number.
There you go.
Right. So, like I said, I was driving that moped and I saw it and I said, I think I need to call this guy. So,
So, what did you think initially when you were reading Chef's Gone Green? Obviously,
because I primarily deal with chefs mainly in the Houston area, and now I'm trying to expand more into the Austin area. I said I just have to meet him. So
Yeah.
he said Chef's Gone Green. I know he's a major chef and growing some high quality products. So that's somebody I need to know. So.
yeah. And you said the focus is more on like lettuces. Now, what about microgreens?
My current setup is not really set up for that. I could if I do some retrofitting, but primarily the channels that is built in my greenhouse is set up for any kind of lettuce type products.
Because you have an NFT system, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's NFT is nutrient film technique. That's
Okay.
where we have channels where we actually take we seed we take the seeds and put them into little pods, and then we place them into these NFT channels. And from seed to harvest is about 6 weeks.
And there's no dirt involved.
No dirt at all. We use it's called a inherent media called rock wool, and from there it's like a little pod that we set it in, and then from there it stays in the whole time all the way into harvest.
You have employees, a team of folks out there?
Right. I have currently about 4 employees right now that I have my operational manager that doing my day-to-day work, and then we have a team that comes in to help me to harvest, transplant, and also seed.
Yeah. And Chef Tim, we'll get into, I mean, we started to kind of get into why
Yeah.
you were into this. Andy, what prompted this? Where did this come from for you?
Well, if you look at my website, I have my story.
Okay.
It pretty much describes how, I grew up in East Texas. And from there, I have the family farm. It was originally a cattle ranch. And it's still a cattle ranch to this day. And I continue just to work it over the years. And just always trying to look for something to make it more productive and another resource for me to do as I continue to want to develop it, because I really enjoy the East Texas area. So over the last few years, I started just investigating a few different things, a few different options, and then hydroponics pretty much was like that perfect synergy between my technical background and my original agriculture background. So I started investigating that more and more.
So you just combine the two.
Combine the two.
And I'm sure you're happy.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. So you're an engineer.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what is it what else do you do? What is the
Well,
engineer?
I'm an engineer here in the Austin area, and I work for a lot of the major technology companies here, designing chips for cell phones, for watches, pads, computers.
Okay.
And that's what I currently do right now.
Sure.
So
Okay, interesting. But this is keeping you busy, yeah?
it's keeping me busy and it's keeping me happy.
Yeah.
Just that to find that something I can do that's, there's so many just benefits from doing hydroponics, and I'm growing food, and also I have cows, so this allowed me just I'm like a synergy of, I can have steaks and salad all year round.
Yes.
So
And then high
That's a
quality. at
combination.
that.
high
Yes.
quality.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm sure the cows are grass fed and grass finished,
Absolutely.
all that
Absolutely.
stuff. So very cool. We take
is
a
cool.
quick moment here and hear from our sponsors.
Oh, definitely.
The Ranch Rider Spirits. There we go. I've got the Chilton, Chef Tim. You've got the ranch water, and Andy's got the tequila
the ranch
Paloma.
water.
Yes.
Okay. Now honestly, this is really good.
There you go.
This is really good.
I was not
enjoy
kidding.
this.
You like it?
I like this. The grapefruit taste. I love it.
I think this is right up both of your alleys.
Yes.
There's a little healthier option.
Little healthy option, but you still get that flavor and a
yeah.
little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Right?
very good.
This is
And
good.
As local as you could possibly get. I mean, they're packing these up out towards Dripping Springs, still in Austin.
All right.
Yeah. So there you go.
nice. That's good.
Thank you, Ranch Rider Spirits.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, and we can continue on a little bit like with this, with the microgreens that you're getting, Chef Tim, like you were talking about. You're getting things from distributors or wherever you order them from, and they come and they've been sitting around for a couple days. I mean, they don't have a long shelf life.
They don't. Well, okay. Mine do.
Okay.
I can,
Wonder that must be the
I
smaller.
honestly think it's just taking care and not rushing the process, because microgreens it depends on what kind of microgreen you're growing. It could take anywhere from 7 days if you grow like pea shoots or sunflower shoots or things like that. It could take up to. I'd like to grow a little longer on a lot of my varieties because it just adds more. I don't know, the texture, not just the texture, but it just the look of it too. So, and I do everything. I'm the farmer. I do everything. So it's kind of a, I have a grow room, and then I have a little, not a shed, but oh my God, I'm sorry, I just went brain dead.
That's all right. But when it comes back to you have a different approach. You don't want to use these as garnish.
No, I mean I like to use them as a garnish. Most chefs use microgreens as a garnish.
Right.
Okay. I want to educate the chef on there is so much benefit
The
as far as
nutrients?
health goes, that they really need to look at putting more of these on the menu. Because most everybody, I mean, honestly, a lot of people don't even have a clue. What is this, grass? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Besides the delicate look of them, and they look really nice on a plate.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't eat them. They'll just brush it off.
Well, you brought samples over.
Yeah, I got a sample. So, I mean, I try to do specialty microgreens. I do the microgreens that you don't really see a lot of. So I do everything from, carrots, I still do the traditional bull's blood and the amaranth and the ones that chefs really like for the color and things like that. But I like to be experimental, and I try to grow every kind of microgreen you can.
Right.
I mean, there's some, that you can't grow, that don't grow, real well, like especially in an indoor farm. But I experiment a lot, and that's kind of where I get, I know what's going to work and I know what's not going to work. So right now I got a sample pack. I've got amaranth. I've got, even parsley.
Right.
I see parsley on plates all the time, but I don't see microgreen parsley.
Sure.
It's got a different look to it.
And some of these samples that I've tried from you, I've just eaten the whole
That's the
container.
thing. That's the thing.
And
that's
it's been
kind of
delicious.
Honestly, I eat. Sometimes I'm scared of how much I eat because I'm eating my profits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's kind of it's good because I have to know what they taste like, and I try the flavors at different stages. So
Yeah.
I'll try one at 7 days, and I'll try one at 10 days, and then I also do microgreen lettuces.
Okay, so if we you do the hydroponics, you do the microgreens, they're not hydroponics though, right?
No, they are hydroponic.
They are.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
I
know
grow
that.
on a different. I try to grow on either hemp mats or jute mats.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The only thing, there are some microgreens that you can't grow on mats. They just don't work well. So I I take an organic soil blend that I mix.
Yeah.
So I buy the components for it, and then I'll end up making my own mix for it, just because it depends on, you need a ratio of how much soil you use to how much perlite, or these are things to help with keeping the soil moist and things like that. So there's two varieties that I grow in soil, that I use soil.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
But everything else I try to grow, hydroponically on, which means growing in water, but it's on a media.
So for somebody who would be interested in maybe even trying this themselves, I mean, obviously we'd like to get them to try your product.
Yes.
Some folks, I mean, obviously not on a huge scale, but get somebody to try it. But how do we grow this? Like, if I want to do it, if I want to grow some microgreens or even a hydroponic lettuce, what is the process?
Well, I'll let Andy speak for the hydroponic. That's a lot more. That's, to me, hydroponics, what he does is more intense, and takes a lot more. Well, I'll let you kind of.
Yeah. Oh, that's for someone that want to make like a personal type hydroponic garden. There's small kits that you can buy that allow you to plant to make it a little bit. So, but mine is more on a commercial scale. So I have quite a bit of equipment that's already set up in order to do so.
Yeah. Excuse my ignorance on the subject, but you have hydroponic lettuce, and then you have lettuce that's maybe grown in organic soil. Now, side by side, comparing them, is one better for you than the other, or is it just because obviously the hydroponic is it's a cleaner product. There's
Yes.
no dirt involved.
Yes.
I think you just told me that's the difference. Even in someone that grows in soil, they would just they would just have to handle the soil a little bit more different than I would be for my hydroponics. So my hydroponic is a lot more cleaner, and also the plants grow a little bit faster.
Yes.
About 30% faster than the traditional out in the fields.
They grow quicker. Huh?
Yes.
So are they indoors?
Absolutely.
It's in a greenhouse. Okay.
Yeah, it's in a temperature controlled greenhouse.
Yeah, he's got a full size greenhouse. It's huge.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have a 10 by 12 grow room, which is perfect because I set it up specifically for microgreens. But I also dabble in the deep water culture, okay, which is similar, but it's the pods that actually sit in oxygenated water.
Okay.
And honestly, I've compared growing outside. I'm sorry, I meant to say greenhouse earlier. That's when I went brain dead. Okay. So I have a little greenhouse in my backyard. So it's that's where I try to grow my more of my edible flowers because
Okay.
edible flowers do really well outside.
With the sunlight, right?
Yes, I mean, you really some like microgreens. You could use artificial light. Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, like we're talking about, just set anybody could really set up anybody, and I hate to say this, I mean anybody can grow microgreens.
Sure.
Okay, but to grow on the scale that I'm trying to grow them on in experimentation, it just takes a lot more work and it takes a lot more knowledge as far as knowing how much water you really need. You have to make sure that you water. You're not using city water, Austin city water. Okay, so I kind of do a little, some tricks of the trade to kind of keep my,
What do you need, like high pH water? Or?
No, the pH needs to grow microgreens. pH needs to be lower. So
Is this the same?
Same thing for lettuce.
So what is like the city water?
I've tested it. The chlorine level in city water is anywhere between 7 and 8.
Wow.
Okay, which is high.
That is high, right?
Yes.
So that's the pH, right?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's crazy.
Yeah.
People are buying that like off the shelf or overpriced. They're buying like.
Well, that's the only
marketing that-
that's tap water, which.
Yeah.
But I've also, I have a pH tester kit that
Yeah.
I will actually buy water.
Have you ever gone through and like tested a bunch of water and,
Yes.
and with the labels where it doesn't match to what it says it is supposed to be?
Well, I mean, as far as the pH level goes, there's some water out there, which I'm not going to say,
Yeah.
that contains higher pH levels than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's more acidic and all that
Yes.
stuff.
More acidic and So what I do is I try to do everything naturally. I know they sell certain products like a pH lower or something could raise the pH levels. I just do basic lemon juice
Oh, okay.
and I let the water sit and I oxygenate the water. So what I do is
What do you do, Andy, with the scale you're on?
So for a scale like mine, I currently have a RO system. I take in city water. I run through a RO system to strip down all those everything that the municipality might add in. So I strip all that out, and even from there, I think the pH in my area is around 7.5. Yeah. And so I have my water tested at I think at a couple of universities so I could dial in my recipe for the amount of nutrients that it needs. So we use a different variety of acid in order to bring the pH down.
Sure.
So for lettuce, my optimal pH level is like 5.6.
So it's the same thing. You're
it's
using
similar.
lemon. You're using what kind of acids? Like, is it?
There's a couple of different kinds. There's a food grade acid, and then you can use straight sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
So what happens if you just start, using the city water as is?
You can. I've tried it.
Yeah.
I've tried it. I
It's
noticed
not as
that
good quality, or
it's not, and I noticed that my growth really is affected by the water. It really is.
you mean it's not as fast?
No, if I use city water, it takes a lot longer, and then sometimes the crops don't look healthy.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'll show you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, but the water. One of the reasons why we had to get our water tested is because this has a high. It's called TDS, that's total dissolving salt. So for a plant that's sitting in number water, for a field, the water, all that can be filtered out through the sand, through the soil and everything.
Right.
But on hydroponic, you're getting straight water directly to the plant. Yeah. So that high TDS will literally cause a certain type of burn. And pretty much the plants would theoretically just get stunted and not grow. Yeah.
How long has like the hydroponic growing technique? Because I'll be honest, the first time I heard about it was I think in the '90s when we were talking about weed.
Wow.
that was it.
Yeah, as my son calls my grow room, my weed room, which I haven't. I'll wait till it becomes legal. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Well, I'm sure. No. Well, there's a market for that. So I'm sure.
Yeah.
But has it been around for a good minute there? Because
hydroponics have been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they said with the ancient Mayans, they actually started the original technique.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is.
I mean, it almost doesn't surprise me because of all the amazing things they did.
Right.
With the sky and they predicted the end of the earth.
Right?
It happened as far as I'm concerned.
So they pretty much is more or less aquaponics where they use those sorts fish waste in order to generate the minerals that they needed for their plants.
Wow.
So this technique has always been here.
So it's been here. Interesting. And so, but it's a better quality, more nutrients, looks better.
Yes.
Is it fair to say it probably has more nutrients in it?
Yes. I personally, I think so. I mean,
If it grows healthier, it's got to have.
Absolutely. Like I said, when, in order for me, I took the water in to have it sampled. So the vendor that I use, they take my water and they're able to craft a recipe so I can measure the right amount of nutrients. We have like 6 different types of nutrients that we measure and we put into some different barrels that we slowly introduce into our mixing tank. So that uptake, we have also a check where we check. It's called EC, which is the electrical conductivity, and that's the optimal amount of nutrients that a plant will take up. So the plant is getting the maximum amount right to the roots.
Yeah, that's great.
So that allowed the plant to grow, like I said, extremely fast, and also extremely more healthy. So that's why we talk about shelf life. Traditional header lasts for about a week. I personally, my butterbeer lettuce I have in my refrigerator right now, I've had almost about 4 weeks at a time.
Wow. That is a definite bonus.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was your original point, right?
Yeah.
Of starting to grow your own microgreens.
Yeah, to grow the microgreens and just to make sure that the chefs are getting the freshest product and to make sure that they're getting something that will last. As long as they keep, oxygen from hitting the greens, they keep it in an airtight container, they'll last anywhere from a week to a week and a half.
Yeah.
And microgreens will last, when I used to order them, they would last me 3 or 4 days.
Exactly.
But I don't know how long they were sitting in a warehouse before I received them.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think,
Or being transported, right,
Yeah.
from California.
Exactly,
Else,
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole slew of things that can happen. The
Yes.
temp on the truck, when it gets off the truck, how quick did it get
Exactly.
in or whatever
Yeah.
the case is.
So if I get an order, I cut, and then I stick it in the refrigerator that I have specifically for microgreens.
And
then,
I've seen yours. You've got them here, but they're beautiful.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just I just think that if my whole goal is to start small, and I eventually would love to be where Andy is.
Yeah. Well, then how did you get to where you are? I mean, you're engineer. It sounds like a lot goes into this. It's not just start growing it. I mean, you guys are doing recipes with pH levels and all this. Right. But how did you seek out, the right vendor or clientele to get to where you are?
Well, I went through a few different varieties. Since I'm here in Texas, there's a different kinds of facilities in Texas that I visited, and also working with the Texas Ag Extension. Also, went to a lot of seminars. Went to Texas A&M, spent some time with them. And so I've been shopping around because originally I was looking at aquaponics. Once I looked at that, I realized there's a lot more work than I wanted to put into it.
It's a lot of work in aquaponics, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
is. But hydroponics was more to my nature of dialing in certain parameters into a computer, and as long as you got the right water and everything else, it pretty much just goes after that.
And it's just more of a consistent product. Like
Absolutely.
what he grows is just, he knows it's not going to, and kind of one of the things that I look at also now is just even now our soil is so contaminated just from the everyday, life of the surroundings.
Yeah, I want to dig into how you started getting, actually people to use your product. But when you bring up that point there, is there like an actual benefit to doing the hydroponics versus growing it in soil? Like as far as like for the world, like stability and sustainability?
Absolutely,
there is
sustainable. Like we talk about to be able to be repetitive and guarantee cleanliness and quality. Hydroponics is probably one of the best way to do so.
Because our soil is you were getting at the point that our soil is depleted in nutrients,
Yes.
right? That's where you're. I didn't mean
That's
to
I mean,
interrupt you.
and believe me, I still do traditional farming. I still grow stuff.
So
in
can't
soil.
you continue? Like, can't we replenish the soil? Just tell me if I'm wrong. If you grow different things in it, like you can't just always grow corn in one place.
Right.
The soil's meant to like grow corn and then grow something else, and then
Right.
grow-
If you ever follow the old almanac books, that talks about how you grow something, and then maybe the next year you don't grow anything, you just let it grow.
and it's all about the soil.
Right.
So you're preserving the soil, but that's not what we've done here.
Right. And another thing I think the huge benefit or what really excited me about and got a lot more people interested about what I'm doing. I'm sure if you watch over the year, how many times have we had E. coli outbreaks
Yes,
from
yes.
the romaine lettuce and stuff from
Yes.
I
California?
get scared every
Yes.
time I go to the store.
There you
Since
go.
then, you know,
There you
you just never, you can never tell.
I have never heard of an E. coli breakout with hydroponics. Personally, I've never heard. I'm sure
No way.
you,
It's
right?
almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because we're totally isolated from any kind of animal
Yeah.
fecal matter or anything
Yeah.
like that. So
That's a definite
Yeah.
bonus, right?
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then you also have to look at the certain bacteria that grows in soil, and you have to look at the pests, because usually hydroponics, there's no pesticides, there's no none of that is involved, and that to me that even makes it better. It's even more healthier because
Just like our ranch Rider spirits
Yes.
here. I mean,
Yes.
that's why. Yeah, it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Working towards a more natural.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So, I know that you guys, you see his sticker, and you call him. So you're like seeking people out like that, which is how you grow, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So how did you get your feet wet with somebody to just? Was it lettuce? It's always lettuce.
Well, yes, my facility is primary seller for lettuce, and early on, I realized the size of the greenhouse that I was growing, and I had the quotes of, it already was predicted that I'll be generating around 2,500 heads a week. So with that, I knew I could not.
lot, yeah.
I could not go to each chef, every week and say, take this, take this. There's no way I can do it. So my whole model with my facility is to go to distributors that has the same like-minded. As
It's always been like that.
Yes.
Okay. So you were never, going into talking to Chef Tim and working directly with. I'm sure you do.
I still talk to him, but
Yeah.
like I said, I worked in some of the farmer markets in Houston and Nacogdoches area, and even Austin. And from there, I got a chance to talk to not only chefs, but everyday people. And from there, as I continue to perfect my recipe and my growing processes, I got a chance to learn and get feedback and understand a lot more. And good to hear the concerns everyone had about where their food came from. And also, being here in Texas, everybody knows Texas love anything grown here or bought here in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's another, for me, I'm proud of my Texas heritage also. So I really wanted to push that too.
Can you name any of the clients or people who are using?
Sure. So right now, one of my main distributors is the Common Market of Texas. And they distribute in Houston and here. And again, this goes back to why it's kind of important of what I do. We have a couple of hospitals in Houston, like the MD Anderson Cancer Hospital, and also Texas Children in that area, because they serve to immune challenged patients.
That should tell people everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I also just completed a serious extreme audit that goes through my whole facility at a great detail on everything I do, and every process is, no matter what I do, is documented. So in that way, institutions from schools, hospitals, hotels, and everything, they're allowed them, because they serve a big variety of people. They have a lot more confidence in buying my products.
Right. Food nourishes, but some people, truly don't realize that some of the things people are eating are killing them.
Yeah.
There's just horrible things everywhere.
That's the thing.
You can't see it, though.
No.
It's very easy to turn to
Well,
blind
look,
eye.
just from my microgreens, I've already gained 20 pounds of muscle, Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But no, it's just, I eat them. Some people are like, ugh, but I eat them because they're so nutritious.
Right. And you said fan of steak and take a steak and a salad. It does sound nice.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I would say just and also, like I said, I know you deal with a lot of chefs in the Austin area. One of the biggest things, you see a lot of people doing a lot of the lettuce wraps or even burgers wrapped with lettuce.
Yeah. Because we're moving towards keto friendly or gluten free kind of thing.
Right. So so even I do that now. If I could go and do a bunless burger, I will. Even in that, if I realize of how much I can taste the meat a lot more better.
Yeah.
So it tastes. I can tell a big difference. So I really have embraced that, and a lot of the different customers, they do that. They're doing all these different kind of wraps and all these different. Really sets apart what they've been eating before.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've never personally ordered a burger like that, but I know plenty of people who do.
You have to try it.
I know. I should try it.
Yes, he's right on about you actually you could taste the burger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
And then plus
excellent
perfect
point.
with the carbs, because I'm trying to stick to a low carb diet as much as I can.
Yes.
And this actually, the microgreens actually help.
Another shout out to the Ranch Rider.
Yes.
No carbs in that. Well, it's great. It's a good substitute for beers.
Yeah,
Right?
and that's the thing, and it's just kind of just educating people because it's just all about the education. And It's
Yeah.
about
Exactly.
what can you do with the product like he grows and the product that I grow.
Sure.
There's so much other things you can do with it, and just like he explained, with the wraps and the things like that. You see it sometimes. A lot of people just aren't. I don't know whether it's educated enough or they just don't care about their diet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just to each his own. But I mean, to me, I would rather have a burger on his bib lettuce than getting a big fat bun that's 200 grams or whatever it is of carbs.
Sure. And another thing is, I think a lot of people naturally, myself, when I just think lettuce, I'm like, oh, yeah, just lettuce. It's
Yeah.
not that exciting.
Yes.
But if you grow it, you have a different product than just lettuce. It's not the lettuce you go pick up at H-E-B that, goes rotten in a week.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of introducing people to this like lush, green, beautiful product and showcasing it will turn people on as well.
Yeah, and just think about if you go on his website and you look at his setup and you look at his lettuce. It's
I know.
like,
I
wow.
need to. I'll link your website in the description of the podcast, so anybody listening can just hop on there and check it out. But you've got what on there? Explain a little bit
Yeah, well, on my website, obviously, we have
about you and all that.
About how everything got started. Our website is countryboyfarms.com.
Okay.
And also, same thing at Instagram, at
Yes.
Country Boy Farms. So we put, and I want to go back to what Tim was saying earlier.
Sure.
I just realized a lot more about the microgreens and everything. So even looking at his latest stuff on Instagram, I'm like, wow, that looks beautiful, and it looks good. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
it's
Have
awesome.
you been able to give him any samples yet?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Because I'd try these samples and I would just eat the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, honestly, I'm working on a website right now, but I am on Instagram.
Yeah.
Chef's Gone Green, and I have pictures of everything I grow.
We're in
kinda-
the same shoes. I'm
Yeah.
working on a website, but it's just Instagram. And you guys are both here. It worked.
Oh, yeah.
And you called him with a sticker.
Yes.
right. That's
See,
right.
and I think it's kind of it's kind of meant to be. I think is kind of what it is. So it's
Sure.
kind of just one of those things. I think as I eventually want to grow in the future, I think he's going to be a great person who's going to give me some knowledge and
Absolutely.
kind of help gear me towards kind of my goals.
How far is the farm? You need to get him out there and have him
Absolutely.
check it out.
Yeah, he's already invited me. I was just got to
Nice.
find time to get out there. So
Right. So my farm is about 3 hours from here in a small town. It's called Kenora, Texas. If you're in the East Texas area around Nacogdoches or Lufkin area, you'll see a David Crockett National Forest. My farm is right in the middle of it.
Okay.
So about 3 hours from here. So come spend a day. And also anybody else is interested, come out. I like showing off what I'm doing because it actually promotes. You understand why.
that's exactly what he's saying. Is
important,
right
yeah.
there. Is I think every chef or anybody who has a restaurant or catering companies, which I'm sure a lot of them do, but a lot of them don't, is they actually physically need to go to his farm, or and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to gain so much experience, and you're going to say, "Wow, this is going to be so much cleaner."
Yeah.
And then on my menu, what you see now on menus that they're featuring from this farm.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's cool to kind of hey, this I visited this farm, and this is kind of the.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
mean,
say
as
the
far
wave of
as-
the future, but as far as the wave of our health,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and I think this is the route that is going to it's going to continue to grow. I mean, my passion, I'm trying to figure out, it was my passion for hydroponics and that stuff was either when I went to Disney World and visited their hydroponic, kind of they have that
Oh,
setup.
we're going to Disney in February.
Yes, isn't it the Epcot Center? Is that where it is?
I've not been there, but
Okay.
I've heard about it, and they said it's
Yeah,
it's off the scale.
Yes,
It's
and it was
unreal.
like, wow. And then it was either that or it was my first chia pet. Okay.
Yes.
Chia pet,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember.
That's
Okay.
true.
trying to get that damn thing to grow, and then
Yeah. They
took
had
a couple
like,
times.
Was it they did all kind of variations.
Yeah, they got
Yes.
I just bought my son one for Christmas just for a joke. I bought him like a God, what is that movie? I already forgot the character.
Is
It's
it
a
like-
character.
Is
One
it
of the-
like one with like an afro or something?
Well,
'Cause
no,
I've
it's
seen-
it's oh God, I can't remember the character. anyways,
I've
it
seen
was a
like
movie.
Bart Simpson.
But yeah,
or
no, they have
something,
different
or-
ones. They have different
like
ones.
The traditional ones, like
Yeah, no, they have a
sheep,
Bob Ross one, which is on my Instagram thing. They have a Bob Ross one that grows into kind of a full Afro kind of thing. But you got to it's once again, even with the chia pet, you have to make sure that everything is perfectly. It's not too thick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't have the seeds too thick. You got
I
to
get
kind
a
of mix
kick
them
out
up.
of watching you two grow a chia pet. Guys get all into it, checking the pH.
Right,
level.
check at the pH level. Let's make sure everything's on the way it's supposed to be. But no, it's it's and also it's just I don't know. It's just it's a new passion that actually.
As far as a chef going to a farm,
Yes.
once you've done that and you see where the product's coming from,
Yes.
I mean, you can, assume that like a lot more goes into actually crafting the dish because there's so much more to it. Then you know exactly where it came from. Like the nutrients and all the. But there's so much more than just you ordered it from Brothers Produce and it showed up
Exactly.
and it looked good and here we go.
Exactly.
Throw it in the walk-in.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think,
like
like-
this is from Andy.
Right. So I think that if you visit like my facility and you see the attention to detail, like I said, we use gloves, we wear shoe covers, hair nets, beard nets. Anytime around the product, and also the extra effort we do to make sure there's nothing that's is contaminated. Yeah. It's I think, but in my opinion, I think a chef will go back like, okay, wow, I understand it's just a lettuce, but the amount of effort that was put in to get to this point, I think that, and for them, I think they'll just carry on to the rest of their dishes.
Yeah.
Just the like he's saying is that, I still love traditional farming, but what goes into what hydroponic he grows, the lettuces he grows, is just so much more care. And it's just so much more, just making sure that you're, I guess, dotting your I's and crossing your T's, right?
Absolutely.
Instead of just picking it out of field and putting it in a box.
Right. Well, especially, you're on the scale where, you're in these hospitals. That's a pretty reputable, way to do business.
Yes.
I am curious, and those are excellent places to be, but are there places that besides the distribution company, like actual like restaurants or besides the hospitals, that are using your product?
My product, say no, because like I said, I go to
gets
distributors
distributed,
because they do all the distributing.
You should find out and try see if you can pinpoint somebody who's doing something really cool with it,
Right.
like a good lettuce wrap or something.
Exactly. There's some couple of restaurants, but I need to find out more about like I
This
said,
guy,
Yeah,
you get him.
I know.
Hopefully, you don't.
We've been talking. We're trying to we're working on some.
You're gonna have to try. He's not gonna be a patient, right? He's just gonna,
Right.
You have to
Right.
give him.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Exactly.
Checking the front door, Andy. The road's over. No. Yeah, that would be very cool. And then for the same for you. You're kind of in your shoes here. Or if you do find somebody who's interested in using this, it'd be really cool to see how they use it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's kind of what Andy's saying is that it's the same thing. I call my grow room the Walter White meth lab because everything is clean. Everything
Your
I
son's
use.
talking about the
Yeah,
weed.
and that's the thing is I only invite him in when I'm having him maybe help me do stuff. But we do everything to the buck. We wear gloves. I have everything sterilized. I clean my grow room. Once usually after 2 harvests, I'll clean it, sanitize it.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that we're getting quality product and nothing is, contaminated, which,
Absolutely.
Honestly, even if you're going to have a higher chance of getting any kind of contamination from farm-grown product than you are from hydroponic product.
Sure, yeah.
That's just from what I've
It's like
seen.
common sense, right?
Yeah, it is.
the animals
especially with exactly. And that's the thing is just kind of you don't actually know what else they grow, on the farm. But as far as what if you're set up in a greenhouse and it's specifically designed for hydroponic, and then he's looked at a lot more stricter, because if he's selling to hospitals and he's selling to hotels and different things like that, it's just going to just be more like guidelines that he has to follow. And to me, that's where I want to buy from. You know what I mean? Because I know exactly where my stuff's coming from, and I know exactly how it's grown, and the nutrients that he uses, and even with me, I use nutrients. That's how I make a nutrient mix, the same thing. And I also,
I like the way
when I
do
grow
your-
this.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure that I get the best growth and the best quality product. And I think that's why they last longer is because, there's care. And then also when I go to bed or before I leave for the night, what I'll set a radio with and I'll play some Metallica. Okay, and let me do this
for the plants.
Yes, I did an experimentation. Okay, so I did classical, and this is just my personal thing. I did classical music. Okay, I did that for a few days, and I just wanted to kind of see.
All right.
And then I played some Metallica.
All right.
And then I just noted there was more vigor in them, and they were growing a little bit faster. I'm just giving you. That's not true.
That's not. You should try.
I in my
Throw
mind,
a little
it's
Bob
true.
Marley in there or something.
That's the thing is I'm going to experiment with different styles of music and
All
kind
right,
of see what.
just
But honestly,
Bob
I
Marley's
do
probably
think
the answer.
yes,
right?
I
It's
think
always the answer. Sorry.
that honestly, relation besides the nutrients.
Oh,
right?
I love it. That's
So that's kind of
so
the thing.
cool, though.
I mean, it's just kind of a just
Yeah.
something I think that actually helps a little bit more.
Yeah, you could put it on shuffle too. See what you get there.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Give them a mix of everything.
Give them a little mix, right? Yeah.
But I would think Metallica would. I don't know what they'd be like. Turn that off. Eventually, right?
No, I think they like it. I do. Yeah.
Interesting.
So just
Very cool. So you guys sitting here, side by side, and he's getting this up and going. What do you? What are your suggestions for him, or how do you? What do you think about what he's up to?
Well, I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm stimulated. Really want to start trying it and get a lot more involved. I think that's definitely microgreens is still the future also. So
Sure.
yeah. I mean, microgreens. That's the thing. But microgreens have been. The thing is that microgreens have been around for a long time, but nobody really. A lot of people still call them grass. I'm not eating grass.
Yeah.
yeah, even me, I didn't know. So, not that I call it grass, but I didn't
Right.
understand the depth of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And also
but-
looking at edible flowers and stuff like that. That's still new to me, and I'm just amazed at what I've seen lately.
Yeah, edible flowers, and that's the thing about it is they are edible, and I eat them. I eat them, and honestly, I like the flavor of them, especially when you mix them with certain kind of things.
Well,
My
tell
girl-
us your because I've heard this from you, and I've tried them. You do packages with basically like I guess recipes or like
I have that available
like
just
a
to kind of
hot
yeah,
what are
just
they-
kind of
what
give
are they?
chefs ideas of what to use with them besides just throwing them on as a garnish. You
Well,
know?
because you have like what are the names of these?
The microgreens?
No,
Or
you have like little packages, right?
the sample packs?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there's like a name like it's like spicy mix.
Yeah. No, it's just blends. I kind of
But
create.
those are good to just eat.
Yes, those are good just to eat, and that's the thing, and that's the kind of thing. What I try to do is I try to. There's two different goals I guess I'm trying to accomplish with this. Is not only just have a garnish for a chef. There's also, honestly, a lot of chefs because I'm a chef, right? We're arrogant. We can be arrogant.
Sure.
Okay. So
No.
I know, isn't it hard to believe? So I talk to chefs and I'm like, well, you don't have to tell me. I know what to do with them. No, you really don't.
Right.
They're not just a garnish.
Sure.
You need to incorporate them into your meals and let people know this is what you're using. Educate them on it. It's not just, you don't have to just be a vegan or to eat microgreens. It's like, I mean, I eat microgreens on everything.
There, to me, when
I'm-
I eat your sample pack, is kind of like when you eat broccoli and you eat
That's-
something healthy
yes,
and you
that's,
feel it.
That's the thing. And that's kind of the key, I think, is a lot of people, I mean, this is all coming from my personal, not experience, but my personal opinion is that, some people don't like vegetables, right? Okay, so they don't like full-size broccoli. They don't like full-size cauliflower. But I grow microgreens, okay? And then I will eat more microgreen broccoli than I would just full-grown broccoli. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once
Is that
again,
like a broccoli sprout kind of?
no, it's not sprout. That's the thing people get confused about. Sprouts and microgreens. Okay, sprouts are grown in usually warm water, a little water, and you got more potential risk of contamination from sprouts.
Can you
Okay.
grow the sprouts hydroponically like that?
Well, sprouts turn into seedlings and turn into the microgreens. Usually, microgreens are usually between 7 and 14 to 21 days.
I started to,
So it's the
to go
seedlings.
off on like a tangent here, but so can you start it and when they're sprouts, pull
Yes,
them
yes,
and just have
yes. You
sprouts?
could start them as sprouts. Yeah,
Okay, because broccoli sprouts
Yes.
are extremely healthy.
yes. Broccoli sprouts are extremely healthy.
Right? Okay,
But
you let it go a little further.
I let it go further. I let it get to the microgreen stage. And then once again, there's people could look online and there's all kinds of studies right now. Your broccoli microgreen has 40% more nutrients than full grown broccoli. Okay. The other thing about I look at microgreens is that usually broccoli you have to cook it, right? You have to steam it. Most people eat it cooked. Some
Yeah.
people eat it like a crudité. But once you steam it and once you cook it down, you're going to lose a lot of those nutrients. But when you eat broccoli microgreens, it's like I eat broccoli microgreens and everything. Sandwiches. Okay, this is a true story. I had an Eggo waffle. Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Where's
wait.
this going?
I know. I had an Eggo waffle, and I was growing radish. I was trying different radishes because they've got all kinds of different radishes.
Yeah.
So I did a Rambo radish. Okay. And the Rambo radish microgreens or any radish microgreens taste exactly like radish. Broccoli microgreens taste like broccoli. Cauliflower microgreens taste like cauliflower and little broccoli. You know what I mean? Because it's the stages that you grow them at.
Yeah.
So I put some Rambo radish on top of my Eggo waffles. Okay, this is my day off, man. I'm not going to cook, man. Okay, poured syrup on it, threw the Rambo radish on there, and I was eating it. And my wife's looking at me and go, oh, my God, you're taking this microgreen thing a little bit too serious. But it was good.
Yeah.
The spicy of the radish, and that's the thing. To me, with being a chef, is you got to create and you got to try different things, and that's how you're going to know. And to get back to what I'm talking about,
That's true.
I think chefs need to experiment more with using product than using microgreens more as a product than just as a garnish. But I still love them as a garnish because they look beautiful, and then people some people know what they are and they're used to them. But I see a lot of times people just brush them off, and you'll see them on the plate when they bring the plates back. But it's kind of like incorporate it into your dish, and then they go, well, the price of them. Then you charge a little higher price on your menu, But at least you can specify, hey, I'm getting microgreens that are grown hydroponically or however, depends on what they get. But it's just educating the consumer on kind of, more of the value of them.
If there's a longer shelf life, I mean, a lot of these guys, when they're saying the price, because, they're going bad in a couple days.
Yes.
So they're worried about the price, but if you get this and you can keep it airtight, like you said.
Yeah, keep it airtight. Like I said, it'll last over a week.
Sure. That's
even longer than that. It just depends on, your usage. I try to sell mine in smaller packs. I know chefs who love to buy the big, 32-ounce clamshells or microgreens, but, if you're a restaurant that's, doing 400 covers a day, yeah, I could see that. But to me, you buy them and you get them in smaller packs because you could pull them out of the walk-in and have them sit on your line, if you don't have.
What I was trying to say was these sample packs that you do have.
Yeah.
It's like mixtures, ones you've labeled spicy mix or whatever the case is.
Yeah, those are the blends.
So blends.
Yeah.
These blends, though, just themselves. I mean, anyone really could, like serve a steak or what have you. What name it, and just pull that mix or whatever one of them out, put it right next to it, without even salad dressing. And it was. I mean, I was eating them straight like that, and like I said, I felt it's like the thing where you eat something healthy and you actually feel it. Like
I do. I mean, I really do. I feel it. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I know there's other things. I try to take care of. I try to watch what I eat, but honestly, I just think you just get more of the nutritional value of something.
Sure.
That's.
But those are good. Like the way they are without even like.
Well, just like sprouts.
dressing.
You see these sprouts at the grocery store. I don't buy any kind of sprouts or anything from the grocery store.
But like sprouts, I wouldn't get and start eating. You want to put them on something.
Well, no, I mean, actually, a lot of people just buy the sprouts just to eat the sprouts.
That's crazy. I would maybe mix it in a smoothie if I was going to do that.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing too, is that you see a lot of places trying to use microgreens or try to use like pea shoots and sunflower shoots to put them in smoothies and things like that. I see that. I mean, my personal opinion, I don't like them in smoothies.
Yeah.
I mean, if I want a smoothie, I want a smoothie that doesn't have wheatgrass in it. But that's my personal opinion.
Sure. I think when people do that, they're like, we'll make a smoothie with whatever, banana, strawberry.
Yeah,
but then they'll put like a couple things of spinach in there. Like, there's the greens are in there.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
how they tell themselves in their mind. Oh, okay, I got my serving of spinach.
But what's
today,
beautiful about these sample packs is that you can literally just open them and start eating them, and
without
any.
That's the thing. If you want to just eat, I mean, I try to do different blends for. My goal here is to talk with the chef and kind of get their opinion on what they want. If they want just to use them as a garnish, I'll grow the nice ones for garnish.
So if we have chefs listening right now to you talking about this, and Chef's Gone Green, that's on the Instagram to see kind of this product, you're not looking for like a huge scale.
No.
Like a chain or
no.
You're looking for kind of a smaller
I'm
operation.
looking for small operations who I can grow for.
Sure.
That I don't.
For the time being.
Yes.
Yeah.
I eventually would love to be able to, but I mean, to me, it's kind of being a chef and just, using the product, knowing what to, different ways of using it. I just want to find that, few small restaurants to start and just grow what they want, and I'll, if they want me to give them my input on what I think, would be good and what to utilize it for, I can. But
Does he have a good plan?
I think it's awesome. I think that'll work out great.
now when I grow up, I want to be like Andy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's cool. I mean, that's
So-
cool. So
do you love being at the farm? Is it like it's?
Oh, love it.
So do you love because you're a chef,
I'm a chef full time, and I
enjoy
do
that?
this part time. I enjoy being a chef.
but do you enjoy this? Just
I
like that?
enjoy this. Oh yes.
Okay.
This actually will. I mean,
It's like meditative. I'm
Yes.
sure, something like that.
So no, I don't.
guessing.
I don't enjoy being an engineer. I want to be on the farm full
you?
time.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. See, that's the thing. It's just something about it. Just something about the whole growing food and growing things for people that are going to eat it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just so much more passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to me, it's more, and I'm sure I'm not Andy speak for himself, but it's just more of a purpose, kind of a,
Sure.
I mean, I can cook somebody a steak. I can cook somebody whatever they want. Yeah, that gives me pleasure.
Yes.
But I'm not a 30-year-old chef anymore. I'm getting old. I'm getting a little older, so
Yeah.
I would like to find something I could fall back on that maybe I could turn this into a full-time business, and that's my goal. That's what I'm shooting for.
Definitely.
And I know Andy is too. We've been talking about it, and it's kind of just that passion. And I think that eventually it's going to happen. When and what time, who knows? But
Sure.
as long as you have that passion and you keep striving for that passion, then you're going to eventually. It's going to happen.
So if anybody's interested in what you've got to offer, they can reach out to me or you
Yeah,
on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. Hey, if you see my truck on Mopac, just
And Andy with Country Boy Farms with
Yes.
this lettuce, they go through distributor. You're already set up in Austin, and
Right. Right.
So-
So, like I said, you can
do
always
they say I want the Country Boy Farm lettuce?
Absolutely.
That's how that goes.
Right. So, like I said, my primary distributor is, like I said, the Common Market of Texas. They're in Austin at least once a week, delivering to different restaurants.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start poking around. I want to see who's using them.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested.
And also, like I said, you can always contact me through Instagram or through my website, and I can put you in contact with the distributor, and they'd be more than happy. And but they have a wide range of also locally sourced products also, so they'd be more than happy to share
Yeah.
what they have.
Very cool.
yeah.
Anything we need to touch on?
Just educate. Just learn more about the food that you're putting on your plates.
Sure.
That's
yeah.
all.
Yeah, yeah. And these tours, do you do tours? I know it's 3.5 hour drive
Right.
from here.
That's one thing I was going to try to work with Tim or even you. I like
Yeah.
to get some of the local chefs and a Saturday, make a day trip and come up and I have something set up. We come out and just see the whole facility and
100%, yeah.
And then because I'm doing the same thing with some chefs in the Houston area. They're scheduling, but they're trying to get their bosses also. But a lot of different chefs are coming just
I think
to
that's neat.
Yeah, I think every chef should visit,
Yeah.
specifically his farm.
Sure.
But they should see, the whole
Where it's coming
hydroponic.
from,
Yeah,
yeah.
the kind of the whole hydroponic. Because once again, hydroponic is just it's going to surpass. I think, sooner or later we're going to run out of land that we could actually farm. So now hydroponics, if you have a greenhouse. I mean, there's people with farms in their backyards, and just, just building from there. And it's just,
You could potentially have a greenhouse that's
Yes.
like a building, right?
yes, there are some greenhouses or some warehouses that I've seen that have like 20
Levels.
levels of and there's one microgreen farm that's what they do. And they have like level after level after level. And it's growing up.
That's crazy.
And it utilizes so much less space, but they can still produce a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Without having to have 5 or 10 acres of land.
Sure.
So that's kind of one of the benefits about hydroponics. So.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the Epcot Center having that
Yeah.
huge facility. Now a lot of the high tech companies are actually going to their rooftop and building different facilities up like this so they can feed their employees.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, that's true, and I've kind
like-
of looked at that. So there's some big companies out there that are actually starting into the hydroponics.
Oh yeah,
It falls in line with like a trendy thing, but it's also really great.
Yeah, I mean,
There's like a stigma with certain things. Like if it's gluten free, it's like there are certain people who actually can't have gluten though.
yes,
Sure.
yeah,
And so this is like something that would fall into like, oh, it's like treating microgreens and like hydroponics, but no, it's healthy and awesome. So for good reason.
Yeah.
Be trendy,
Yeah.
be healthy, go for a run.
yeah. Really,
It's
I mean,
trendy.
that's the kind of thing. It's just, try it.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
So sticking with the tradition of the Austin All Day podcast, I must ask places to eat. This is
Oh
the
no!
drill. Well,
Oh no! Let's
Andy,
let's
I
start
know
with Andy.
you're
Let's
back
start
and
with Andy.
forth. So where do you like to eat in Austin when you're here?
Oh, I love. Oh wow! I love. How do we do this?
Well, this is the segment for the person who's driving right now who can't figure out where they want to eat tonight. So give them a place. And I know, Chef Tim, you're like Eggo waffles and
Come on, my day's off, man. You know where my best place? I'll give you mine. Mine is my kitchen.
Well, you don't suggest people go there.
Well, no, I don't suggest you to go there. No, honestly, once again, it's the same thing as far as me. I mean, I don't get out much.
Yeah.
I'm either working or I'm working on my microgreen business right
How
now.
are we going to get you out?
Pay for it, and then I'll no, I'm just kidding. No, once again, it's. I mean, there's some great restaurants here in Austin.
Austin, that's the best to me. I love Austin.
All right, well,
so my favorite salty sour. You always see me there.
Salty sour. Okay, no,
I love Sway.
Sway, yeah.
Oh man, Tom Cruise super.
I think the next podcast coming out is Kurt Sievers. Now, we're in the past, but yes, next week for us at present.
Man, I need to get out more. Man, I need to get out more.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. But anywhere else, because the great suggestion. Salty Sal's been there forever.
And also, I love barbecue, so it's more towards Lockhart. The barbecue places, all of them. Blacks, Kreitz.
Sure.
Kreitz is my favorite.
Okay.
So, I'm always trying to go back and grab something to take with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, on your way back from Westminster, need
Yes.
to just, I don't know, pull over and bring something home. Or just eat there. You can always do that.
Yeah. That's the thing is
There are ways to do this. I'm just like you, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Very hard to get me to go out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is just kind of I need to get out more to especially being a chef trying to
You'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I mean I like I said I do go out, but I've got the memory of a mouse, man. I mean, I'll just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of it's like I'll go eat someplace and like, oh yeah, what was the name of that place that I ate at? It was good, but
Sure.
I just don't.
No worries.
I don't go out that much, man.
That's all right.
But I do. If there is any chefs listening that want to educate me on their restaurants, hey, I'll come out.
Yeah.
And
I
I'll bring
always tell people you don't even have to listen to the podcast. If you need a place to eat, just scroll through the episodes.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. That's
this.
true. See,
I'm
that's
looking at that
why. That's what I should have said. That's what I should have said.
You could. Yeah.
I should have said, you know what? Listening to the podcast now, I know exactly where I need to go with all these chefs.
Right. And then they'll land on Country Boy Farms and Chef's Gone Green. And they'll be like, what's this one?
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, where'd this one come from? But yeah, no, it's just I think it's great just to educate.
So, I mean, the purpose is to, supply nutrients with these guys and have them know where it's coming from. So.
Exactly.
So very cool. You guys want to add anything before we wrap it up here?
Easy Tiger, 24 Diner.
We've
No, I'm
got
thinking that.
He's got easy time. Yeah.
Oh,
This is
that's right.
David Norman's cookbook that came out recently.
Okay.
Yeah. So Easy Tiger's amazing, right? The bread is awesome. But definitely, right? We can just keep rattling them off.
Yeah.
Austin is just littered with
You know what?
so
I figured it out.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
Yes.
Okay. So the chefs that invite me to their restaurants to eat, I will bring them microgreens.
There you go.
Okay. Right? That's kind of like an even trade-off, right?
You're out because I mentioned the Dukeman Winery.
Yeah, I'm out in San Marcos.
I wonder if that could be on your way home. It's by Trattoria Lucina.
Okay.
Chef Don is out there, but I really think you guys could.
Yeah, no, it's just, once again, it's just my goal to start small and just keep it small until I feel a need to grow.
And no rush. Are you?
No rush.
Yeah,
No rush. I got a full time. I'm a executive chef.
That's the way to do it.
And this is my escape from being an executive chef and
Sure.
wanting to.
It's like way healthier than like going
Yes.
home and playing Call of Duty.
Yes, that and sitting on the couch watching TV, which I used to do until I started doing this, and it's kind of like I've got from the time it's nonstop.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Nonstop.
And I'm sure yourself, I mean, you've got to be pretty busy.
Oh yeah, but like I said, my current job allows me to do a lot of remote working, so that allows me to go out to my farm and
Yeah.
continue to stay busy. So.
Nice.
See, I should have been an engineer. Then I could add more time.
I just say I have more time though.
Well, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's true.
Well, Chef Tim, Andy, thank you guys for coming in.
This
Chef's
is great.
Gone Green, find them. Look for all the links in the description of the podcast and all that nonsense. But thank you guys for coming in. Country Boy
me.
Farms, appreciate it. You guys are welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We'll. I'm sure Andy's gonna, come up with some new stuff, and I'm gonna.
You get something like a tour out there. Maybe we can talk about it, promote it a little bit, get some guys who are into it. And
that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
It
to
would
get some chefs to actually set up a tour to go.
And I tell you,
check out his place.
I'm gonna poke around. I'm gonna see who's using it. I'll find. Is it labeled, the lettuce, when it comes in with the logo?
So we generally sell in bulk. So it's we serve cases.
Yes.
They have like 20 heads to a case.
Do they say anywhere on the case? Country Boy? No, you don't know.
Generally, chefs will generally put on their menu. So like, like I know, like MD Anderson, you go down and you'll see I'm on the menu down there.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
So they take it, and then after they bust it out, they make their own prepackaged salads that they sell individually, and also they serve to their current patients too. So
Sure. Very cool.
So like I said, for anybody, like I said, the year just started. Watch how many times we have these E. coli outbreaks, and
Yes.
every time I do, I get more phone calls.
Yeah. Just bypass all that and get some hydroponic lettuce.
Yes.
And this is kind of where I'm gonna throw this in there real quick. So when you have an outbreak, right, and then all of a sudden every restaurant and they do not serve romaine, or it was romaine when we had that big outbreak. Okay, knowing that if you're buying from a hydroponic farm and you're serving romaine, people are going, "Oh my God, are you real? How are you? You can't serve romaine."
Right.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Because I grow hydroponically.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So that's kind of the thing, and that's kind of, to me, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And I love what you're doing for all kinds of reasons. Thank you
Well, cool.
guys.
Well, thanks.
For sure.
It was awesome.
Cool.